All right, let's talk about something we all deal with, that constant battle happening right between our ears. We all want to have a clear, sharp mind, right? But it feels like the harder we try to wrestle our thoughts into submission, the crazier and louder they get. It's a real paradox. So, I gotta ask you, is your mind your greatest asset, your best friend, or, if you're being honest, does it sometimes feel like your own worst enemy? We all live with this, and today we're gonna explore two really powerful and seemingly opposite ways to get a handle on this inner world of ours. On one side, you've got Rolf Dobelli. He argues the key is to just think better, to learn how to spot all the little mental errors and traps that lead us astray. But then, on the other side, Joseph Nunyon comes in with something, well, way more radical. He says the very act of thinking is what causes our suffering, and the real solution is to just think less. So, which one is it? Let's dig in. Okay, first things first, let's really get into the problem. It's that feeling we all know so well, right? You're physically in one place, but your mind is trapped in a totally different reality, and usually a much worse one. I mean, think about it. Picture this. You're on the couch, your family's there, something funny is on TV, but inside your head, you're replaying a stupid thing you said in a meeting, or you're just fuming about your boss. The event is exactly the same, but your internal thinking has created this private, miserable little world just for you. It shows you so clearly that our feelings don't come from what's happening out there, but from our thinking about what's happening. Okay, you really have to lean in for this next part, because this idea from Joseph Nguyen is, and I'm not exaggerating, a total game changer. He makes this one crucial distinction that can basically reframe the whole problem for you. It's the difference between thoughts and thinking. And here it is. This is so important. Thoughts themselves, they're totally passive. They just pop into your head, kind of like clouds drifting by in the sky. You don't control them, they just appear. But thinking? Oh, that's a whole different ballgame. That's an active choice. It's when you grab one of those thought clouds, you yank it down, and you start picking it apart, judging it, wrestling with it. That is the exact moment the suffering kicks in. So what this means is it's not the random thought, oh no, I might fail, that actually hurts you. It's the thinking about it. It's the hours you spend dissecting that one thought, imagining every possible horrible outcome, and just beating yourself up. The less you actively engage with the thought cloud, the less you're going to suffer. It's that direct. There's this fantastic old story that just nails this point. So there's a monk. He's meditating in his little boat on a perfectly still lake. Total peace. And then suddenly, bam, another boat smacks right into his, jolting him. He is instantly filled with rage, just ready to leap up and scream at whoever was so careless. But he opens his eyes to yell, and he sees the other boat is completely empty. It just drifted into him on the current. And in that instant, poof, all the anger just vanishes. He gets it immediately. The boat wasn't the source of his anger. The anger was created 100% inside of him by his thinking about what happened. That empty boat is just like our random thoughts. It's what we do with them that matters. All right, let's move on, because let's be real. Sometimes you actually do have to think. You have to make big decisions. So, how do you do that without falling into all these mental traps? Well, this is where Rolf Dobelli's work on cognitive biases is so incredibly useful. Okay, one of the biggest, most common traps is something called the sunk cost fallacy. You have definitely done this. We all have. It's that totally irrational need we have to keep pouring resources into something that's clearly not working. A job, a project, even a relationship, just because we've already invested so much time or money or effort into it. Dobelli gives the perfect example. You're an hour into a truly terrible movie. It's awful. You want to leave, but your friend whispers, "No way, we paid $30 for these tickets." But here's the logical truth. That $30 is gone. It's gone whether you stay and suffer for another hour or you leave and do something better with your time. The only thing you should be thinking about is what's best for you from this moment forward. Here's another one that will completely change how you see the world. Survivorship bias. This happens because the world is constantly showing us stories of the winners, the success stories. And because that's all we see, we start to think success is way more common than it actually is. It's like this. We all see the rock stars on stage, the billionaire CEOs on magazine covers. What we don't see is the massive, sprawling graveyard of failed bands, bankrupt startups, and writers who never got published. The failures are invisible. And because of that, our perception of our own chances of success gets totally warped. Thinking clearly means forcing yourself to go visit that graveyard, so to speak, to see the whole true picture. So you can see how our active, deliberate thinking can be so full of these little errors. So if thinking is so tricky, what's the alternative? And that brings us right back to Nguyen's big idea of non-thinking, a state of being that might just be the source of our absolute best moments in life. Let's try a quick experiment. Right now, I want you to think of a moment when you felt pure, unfiltered joy or deep, unconditional love. Got it? Okay. Really try to feel it again, just for a few seconds. Now, here's the question. In that exact peak moment, what were you thinking? I'm willing to bet you weren't thinking anything at all. The incredible feeling was just there. It came first. The thoughts, if any, like, wow, I'm so happy, came way after. You see? This proves that our peak experiences, our absolute best moments, they almost always happen when our chattering, analytical mind just gets out of the way. Athletes call it being in the zone. Artists call it a flow state. In Japanese martial arts, it's called mushin, or no mind. I mean, even Einstein would famously stop banging his head against a tough physics problem and go play his violin just to let the solution arise from that quiet, non-thinking space. So, how do we tie all of this together? How do we use both the art of thinking less and the art of thinking clearly? It really comes down to having a mental toolkit and just knowing which tool to pull out for the job. And here's the ultimate takeaway. These two big ideas aren't fighting each other. They're just different tools for different situations. So when you feel totally overwhelmed, stressed out, your mind racing a million miles an hour, that's your cue to stop thinking. Your goal is to create that quiet space and let clarity find you. But when you're facing a big, complex decision, like a career change or a major investment, that's when you pull out Dobelli's Thinking Clearly checklist and you actively hunt for those biases like sunk cost. In the end, getting a handle on your mind isn't just about feeling a little better. It's about creating better. It's about shifting from a state of desperate, anxious thinking to one of clear, inspired action. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. If you could actually quiet all that noise, what amazing things would you finally have the space to build?